I'm Chetan Mishra from Dominion Energy, and today we'll be talking about our work on power system frequency domain characteristics for inertia estimation from ambient PMU data. So traditionally, inertia estimation methods aim at approximating a mass or an inertia parameter which maps the rate of change of frequency to power imbalance in a region or at a single machine and so on. And but in reality, it's not just limited to the physical inertia of the rotating mass, but it also involves effective controls. You might have noticed that the inertia value that is estimated from events varies a lot. So depending on the nature of the disturbance you study, the inertia estimation value could be totally different. Furthermore, the main challenge in trying to estimate inertia from PMU data is that we don't have access to mechanical input, which is from turbine governor controls in AGC to the generator, and this kind of masks the effect of inertia. Now for event data, it's usually assumed that these mechanical input changes will be slow, and then first few seconds of the time window following an event, these effects will not be there, and so you can safely isolate the effect of inertia in the first few seconds. But doing so in ambient conditions is extremely hard, just because in ambient conditions you don't have the luxury, you can't decompose your time window into portions with and without inertia. So therefore, in this work, we propose the user spectral analysis techniques for inertia estimation from ambient data. And the reason is that the counterpart for slow mechanical input changes in event data is actually low frequencies in ambient data. So we'll see that how the effect of mechanical input is always restricted to lower frequencies, and you can actually filter out the low frequency portion of your spectrum, and high frequency is purely what determines your inertia. Furthermore, since the inertia value depends on the nature of the disturbance, so there is a need to revisit the original definition. Is it really a constant parameter, or what we are looking for is more of an inertia response, which is the mapping between rate of change of frequency and power imbalance for kind of all possible disturbances. Quickly moving on to the equations. So we have written all the equations in frequency domain because we are working with ambient conditions, and the response of the system can be predominantly linear in ambient conditions. So first equation is the simple power imbalance, but notice how we've written inertia as a transfer function as opposed to a constant number. Second equation is the mechanical input dynamics, and what we have noticed is that these will always be slower. So the mechanical input dynamics will be negligible as compared to electrical output dynamics of the generator in higher frequencies. There will always be a cutoff which is given by omega min, beyond which you can estimate inertia by ignoring the mechanical input as a constant. Moving on to the result, so we created ambient perturbations on a single machine infinite bus system by varying the load. You can see on the top left, we have shown the spectrum for mechanical input, electrical output, and rate of change of frequency. And you can see how clearly beyond 1 Hertz, you can see the mechanical input dynamics to be almost negligible in front of the electrical output dynamics. So we can treat them as almost zero for inertia estimation. And this can be validated on the top right, where we have estimated inertia using two approaches. One is having a full knowledge of mechanical input. So the inertial response you'll see is given by the dotted line. And the black line gives the inertial response when you do not have access to the mechanical input and you're treating it as constant. And you'll see how both the estimates become equal to each other beyond 1 Hertz. And this is because beyond 1 Hertz, the mechanical input dynamics are negligible. And for reference, we have also shown we created a step change at this generator of 50 megawatt, and we have plotted the inertia estimate or inertia constant, which is given by the blue line. And you can see how the inertial response changes a lot. So depending on how fast the disturbance is, the estimated inertia value could be totally different. And this is why you need an inertial response as opposed to a constant parameter value. For future work, we'll be using the proposed approach on real PMU data, which is fairly straightforward. And also we'll be seeing testing this hypothesis on a multi-machine system where effect of AGC will also be modeled, just to see if we can see a clear-cut roll-off in frequency where we can clearly demarcate, or we can clearly separate the mechanical input dynamics from the fast frequency control or the inertia dynamics. Thank you.